found no evidence that suggests that the involvement of Foster as an intermediary of Airbus and the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal between Airbus and the government of Ghana amounted to any corruption and corruption-related offense in respect of which the OSP has a mandate.
Minister.
Anytime NDC is in government, Bawku is at peace. Unfortunately, as soon as NDC leaves government, the Bawku crisis flares up again. And let nobody say it's a fight between ethnic groups. There is politics behind it. And there are people who deliberately fund that crisis. Everybody, the majority of people in Bawku, Kusasis, Mamprusis, Bimobas, Busangas, everybody wants peace. Because everybody wants peace to do his business. I mean, the current curfew in which we are, nobody likes it. Our chiefs are being told they can't wear smocks and go into town. So what is a chief supposed to wear? A shirt like me? How would they know he's a chief? And yet, it's because of the violence and the crisis. And they were forced to do it because people hide weapons in their smocks and go and shoot at people. But I can assure you that peace is our priority. When NDC comes, and I didn't say if, I said when NDC comes, we're going to prioritize Bawku's peace so that peace will return to Bawku and people can go about their business and look after their families.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you and welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and we're live from the Peniel studio. It is the 12th of August 2024, and we thank Almighty for giving us yet another day to discuss matters of the country. Let's go through the headlines of the newspapers, and then later we'll get into the issues. I start off with the Daily Graphic, and it says, Chiefs deserve bigger roles in governance. Vice President says at home war. It's pleasant to be vindicated, Mahama. Cocoa Board invests 942 million Ghana cedis on farms. Chief Executive Officer. The breakdown will be interesting. Ghanaian Times. At DUA Forum in Accra, let's unite to strengthen democratic institutions. VEEP to African political leaders. FDA ordered to pay 93,905,760 Ghana cedis to Tobinco Pharmaceuticals. Bese Manche ushers in Ghana Machine Homo Festival. Redraw Afina Sankofa Unitization Directive. Any workers CUT appeal to Energy Minister. Daily Guide. 5 million euro Airbus scandal. OSP's investigation a whitewash. Court exonerates Tobinco over fake drugs claim. Union petitions Energy Ministry over OCPTP unitization. Reject Mahama's return to power. Baumia. Cocoa Board invests 943 million Ghana cedis in cocoa farms for increased yields. The New Crusading Guide, withdraw regressive conditions on Afina discovery. Any and petroleum workers union demand. Yearboss on unparalleled achievements in 2 years. Success of new GSA law depends on industry collaboration. CEO, Western North Regional MPP organizer praised Second Lady for revitalizing party. Tobinco didn't import fake drugs. Court rules. Baumia is your surest bet to secure jobs. Napo to student nurses. The top right corner says court jails 3 pastors of Holy Apostolic Reformed Church for contempt of court. The Insight. Palestine, the bloody cry for international justice against Israeli genocide. While Ghana was wallowing in debt, Oforiatta's bank made $9.2 million. Manasseh Azuri new book reviews. Force politicians to swear by Nogokpo Shrine to keep promises. Dr. Think Twice urges Ghanaians. I think that is borrowed from the late former President Rawlings, I guess. The Herald, MPP General Secretary, frustrated at Akufo-Addo's appointees. Ye boss, Kofi Japan marks 2 years in office. Ongoing security service recruitment is vote buying ploy, NDC organizer. Armed robbers terrorize gold dealers in Western region. Samia Oku advocates merger of NLA and Gaming Commission. The Informer. Airbus investigations, OSP commended. Chief endorses Baumia confers in Tintan Kesehini on him. What's that? What's in Tintan Kese? Spiderweb. Oh. What do you mean? Illegal lotto operators. Illegal lotto operators. NLA gets tough. Gives 25% commission to writers. Increasing foreign exchange reserves. Ghana pursues value addition. Forgive me, I'm suffering from a little cold. The Inquisitor, after concluding Airbus investigations, pinheads attack OSP. Yagaba Kubori, NDC chairman in trouble. Nkrofo gladly welcomes Dr. Prempeh. Ye CEOs unmatched gains in 2 years. Government pushes Electrochem to employ locals. NLA doing magic. Okay. The Daily Statesman, Ayako Boche advocates more intra-Commonwealth trade. Success of new GSA law depends on industry collaboration. We need free, fair election. Baumia says that's panacea for peace, stability. US court found Mahama guilty in Airbus scandal. NLA to increase commission for agents to 25%. The Searchlight, the Daily Searchlight, scandal, man robbed at gunpoint by RGP's men. Airbus corruption scandal fixing country's movements rejects OSP probe. The gender equity bill had not been signed yet. Dakwa Newman. High Court exonerate Tobinco over fake drugs. Vice President Baumia advocates free, fair elections in Africa. The Custodian. NLA approves 25% commission for lotto writers. Baumia seeks free and fair polls in Africa. New shippers law success depends on teamwork. CEO. You're making Yagaba Kubori NDC unpopular. Chairman accused. Gabi Ochidako writes, the hypocrisy of partisan politics. Venue Finder. NLA increases lotto writers' commission to 25%. Boche advocates intra-Commonwealth trade and investment with Mauritian leaders. BOG adds $6.8 billion of gold to reserve through domestic gold purchase program for economic stability. Court exonerates Tobinco Pharmaceuticals of fake drugs allegations. Ye touts achievements under Kofi Japan's 2 years tenure. Gabriela corrects Napo's lies about nursing trainee allowance. That's Daily Post. Airbus scandal. Special prosecutor did a clean, independent job, Level. Election 2024, Ghana needs truthful, sincere leaders, Professor Opoku Ajiman. Right, so that's it for the headlines. Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming!
Oh, it's in. Take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh bread.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Machasi.
Her smile,
the fresh breath.
Me Jidi say we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Kel 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa.
Kile hosen.
Kel 360 did the way. Its cool mint gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually me on my still.
One of give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rust also give us here and turn down.
But over that song. But tomato give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Me patron the and turn down.
Customer. Give us a turn down. Back.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada wa ni fie dumie no ono nso nom.
Bet, blast, boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more. Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed Lacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his remote. Here is a passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of joy, and now here is to you. Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial star 712 hash. Equaswato tickets as a group, individual, to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash.
By the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Zilo G. Zilo G.
Ina du Gina. Fika na chiji ina.
Mena nyanko jiga. Kwenya jeshi danu yung lodi. Chung chinya le voters register man.
Inkoka. Register ka.
Electoral Commission amachado ofe. Defa jadrado wawade 2024. Amachacha wanangwa. Voters register. Vuga dadi. Nabai ji onko akpo. To blaragbe 20th August. Basere blaragbe 27th August 2024. Tondi gandrama. Basere trogadama gbesiagbe.
Kajaba ma imagine yanko fifila. Jilo. Jiwo onkolo. Jiwo onkolo.
Ejepe na jiwo jeshi danu yung lodi le voters register man. Eye na hiya be wo wodododo wa. Ejepe na nya wo kodafe. Polling station. Atengo titrede ama yo panko majabo no kodagbala mo. Wo fumato yo magavalio. Ejepe wo de panko da le voters register man.
Ejepe mo ba jinyo ko la gbala ma fifila yi. Jilo ji. Jilo ji.
Gake ejepe na nya gbe magbe. Plaga fofo
Jilo ji. Jiwo kolo.
Don't go na 2024 general election. Electoral Commission amachado ofe avu voters register adadi ba me de share na ko manwie. Bobo be wonto eyi aji wo jesiden yo nglo dadi chonwo. Le voters register vuvu dadi eyi yo me. To blaragbe 20th August basere blaragbe 27th August 2024. So ndi gandre basere etro gadan gbe siagbe. Agate ngo wonu ya okatan to mobubuji. Ama yo nglo nko adako a. Wate ngo ji ofe jesiden nglo di oka. No ta si de star 711 star 51 hash. Le network de share de ji. Ama yo pe ID card bu. Alo umanya fi yo lewo. Wate ngo yi exhibition center. Aji ofe jesiden yo nglo dadi. Exhibition officer o wate ngo kperenwo. Na ji wo jesiden yo nglo dadi. No voter ID card malio ha. Akodala yi jebe wadako. Ate ngo chitrede nko de fe jesiden yo nglo di angu. Kude amade ngu to amoya ojibe. Ama amachio. Ama anye dukobu bumato. Ama afa susumele de dio. Ama amanye ama yobe yenye. Ama amanye tafa macholao.
Jilo
ji. Wakodada yenye wo chome.
Right, you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and the guests are already with me. Beatrice Annan is a lawyer and a member of the NDC communications team and the campaign team of John Dramani Mahama. You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Annie.
Welcome back from
Upper East.
Upper East. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Tabitha Aila is also a member of the NPP communications team, and she's also with us here in the studio. Aila, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Were you with the campaign team or you are doing other things?
I'm with the manifesto committees.
Oh. You're coming out end of this month or 18th?
18th. So that will be on Sunday, this coming Sunday.
Oh, it will fall on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll launch it on 18th of this month, which will be on Sunday.
Okay, give me a scoop. What's up? What exactly has happened so far with the manifesto team? What has been discussed? I want scoops.
Until we launch it, I'm not supposed to say anything about it. So
but there are a few things that Dr. Bawumi has been saying himself.
Sure. And those ones that are in public, the public domain, I think the public is aware, which has to do with his, the policy where he says that he will make sure that the ports duties at the ports will be reduced or pegged with what is at Lome. He also indicated that there will be a flat rate, what they call it, for goods that will be brought in, you know. He also talked about the electricity, that he will be introducing solar. He also spoke about the fact that he will be introducing free education for the disabled, people that have challenges, like physically challenged. And so there's a lot that he wants to do for the people of Ghana. And by 18th, the people of Ghana will get to know everything that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has for them. The truth is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is one leader that you can trust. And he has shown so far to be one that is very visionary and one that has been so helpful in this administration. And I think some time back I came here and then there was this man who wrote illustriously about him. He studied him as one of the best running mates, or should I say one of the best vice presidents that the country has ever had. And so this goes a long way to tell you that you can trust.
You mean Dr. H.A. Sikanko?
Yes, you can trust the man, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He has that track record.
So at the manifesto committee level, the discussion of the import duty flat rate, how did it go? Because you probably have to discuss it at length before you break it down within the manifesto. Was it something that was easy? You think that its implementation will be easy?
Let me not tell you that I know everything that went on at the committee level, because at the committee level we're put in various committees. So I served under the education committee. So I don't have much knowledge, yes, on that, how they intend to implement it. But I think when the whole document comes out, it will be explained into details how that will be done. Yeah.
Okay, but you will still have to appreciate, even though you've been put in sects, you still will have to appreciate the whole manifesto.
Sure, that's why I said let's not be in a rush, because the manifesto is here to be launched. And so the pointers are what I just gave you. If you want details, we may just have to wait. And I don't think that is too huge to ask.
For some reason, I don't know what viewers think, but for some reason, I think the parties should have had their manifestos out already. Yeah, maybe even before campaign launch itself. So that, I mean, when we're questioning them, we question them based on the manifestos they've brought out. Because all of them are, on the road already. People are talking to them. They are running around across the length and breadth of the country. But there's no document, to hold them to. And it's too late. NDC says August. MPP says August. And then they are still campaigning. And when you ask questions, sometimes you can only ask questions based on what has been thrown out. Right? But there should be something I'm holding you to. At least by now. We are in August already.
Sure. So you see, I was even thinking that the NDC, that has been in opposition for close to 8 years should have been the people to even take the lead, but it's like they are rather lagging behind. We always start, then they follow. And it's the same thing with the manifesto launch. We will be doing ours before them. And of course, if you look at Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I think he brought, there's this 70 bold solutions that he has brought, okay? The bold solutions for our future, there are 70. Maybe I'll take my time and highlight some. One, that a growth mindset curriculum to help students build critical skills such as problem solving, risk taking, opportunity spotting, and design thinking. This first point, I would like to take my time and say a little. You know, a lot of Ghanaians, or yes, for some time now, a lot of people think that it is impossible for us to do some things in Ghana. That is why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying that the first thing we have to do is that we have to target the young ones. We have to start resetting their mind and making them appreciate that they can embrace the growth, what they call it, the growth mindset, where they are not limited to things that they see with their eyes or things that surrounds them, but that they should be able to go deep and to think beyond their scope. Because we are now in a global village. You don't need to necessarily have, what do you call it, a certain level of exposure before you can be able to do some things in this world. And so he wants to target the young ones first. That is why he's saying that he is instituting what they call the bold solutions. So that people who think that it is impossible for Ghana to be a prosperous nation will start having a word, everything. And so he's introducing what we call the growth mindset. He also talked about enhancing the reposition of the education system towards STEM. And when we talk about STEM, I think you are so much aware that we have built 10 STEM schools. There is one that is specifically for the girl child, okay? And we also have others that are dotted along the length and breadth of Ghana, which will be focusing on STEM, which is what? Science, technology, and mathematics, education, engineering, everything. Robotics, they will be doing all those things, artificial intelligence, and vocational skills. All this is geared towards what? Equipping the youth for the future, so that they may not necessarily have to be trained only to work in Ghana, but when they leave the shores of Ghana, they will be what? Useful in wherever they find themselves. So this is another bold solution that he will be instituting. Another thing we should be looking out for is that he said he's going to expand infrastructure at the medical schools as well as the Ghana School of Law to support an increase in admission for students for medical and legal studies. Now, I'll take my time and also throw a little light on this one. If you look at the NPP so far, I remember there was a time I came here and they just decided to take an extract of what I said because it was something that I said, I built on a point and then I made that point, which has to do with the fact that so far in the history of Ghana, we are the only government that has been able to build so many hospitals. I said this because we have 111 hospitals that we are building. And apart from that, we already have built over 20 hospitals. So in addition, we are going to have a number of not less than 150 hospitals that this government would have built, provided...
It's not have built.
That is why I said they took me out of context, because I was building on a point that if that is done, these are the number of hospitals that we would have successfully finished building.
What if that's not done?
What if, yes, is probable, but it is highly possible that it will be done. Because we have the growth mindset, of course. We are going to institute bold solutions, of course. We are not looking at people that think that it is impossible. We are looking at the possibilities. We are a government that is very optimistic about what we can do for Ghanaians.
Was agendaing to build about 200 E-block schools. When they got out
Please,
of
let me...
No. I want to...
No, I want to finish with... You are going to the education sector, and I just want to finish with this.
Sector, based on the principle that you're setting, because you're trying to say that we took
I'm talking about the hospitals.
I'm saying that they said they will build 200 schools. The same scenario. They said they will build 200 schools. They were able to finish, how many? 45. How many were you? 46. So the 46 is what we will judge them on, not the 200 that they aimed at building.
Okay.
You get my point, right?
Okay, so that is it. That's why I said that we believe that by the grace of God, come December 7 or December 8, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be the next president of Ghana, and so we will realize this dream. And another thing, even before December, there is they will be commissioning, I think, over 50 of these hospitals, Agenda 111 hospitals. And so I think we are already way ahead. Another thing is that, you see, I don't know whether you remember what they did, the infrastructure that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo went and commissioned at UHAS, the midwifery school that they built, a world-class school. So far, in the whole of West Africa, that is the biggest midwifery school you can never get. And the kind of transformation that they are bringing into this medical sector, I tell you that a time will come that people from far and near will be coming to Ghana for further medical training. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because we are the only country so far that trains medical doctors, especially specialist medical doctors, for free. And for this reason, Ghana is best positioned to become one of the best health, health hub in Africa. And so we are building a nation, and it doesn't take one day to build a nation. That is why it is incumbent on Ghanaians to ensure that a government that is committed, a government that has shown so far to be excellent, should continue. Because we have that track record. We have that track record. And so they shouldn't make a mistake and bring in somebody that will do what? Frustrate the gains that we have made so far. Okay. I think we made a mistake some time back. We are not going to repeat it again. A lot of Ghanaians have realized that the NPP is the only government that is there to serve Ghanaians.
The weekend visit to the chiefs during the Homoro Festival, the Daily Graphic captures the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has reiterated the importance of chieftaincy institutions in the development of the country, stressing that there was the need to increase the roles of chiefs in governance of the national development. He said chiefs, as an embodiment of their people, were agents of development who should not be relegated to the background in the national development agenda. So, quote, Ghana has made a mistake since independence by trying to keep chiefs from governance. It has not helped us. We need to bring chiefs closer to governance to help in the development of this country. What exactly was he seeking to, mean or say?
Okay, so we all know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is an individual that reveres the chieftaincy, the chiefs. Wherever he goes, he prostrates to greet them. Doesn't matter whether you are a big chief or a small chief, quote unquote. He makes sure that he accords you the necessary respect. And so it doesn't come to me as a surprise that he has a place for them in his governance. He sees that, yes, the chiefs, of course, if you don't have leadership qualities, you can never be a chief. And so if they have those qualities, why don't we bring them on board? Why don't we try to also tap into the wisdom or knowledge that they have? After all, when you become a president, you rule over the same people that the chiefs rule over. And so at times it even helps to achieve some plans that government has. For example, there were some practices that were done in Ghana that, of course, the chiefs were the people that were ensuring that these practices were done. For instance, female genital mutilation, early child marriages. At times, for some people, it was not a problem to them at all. But then, government says, no, we can't do this. We can't let all these things happen because it is not right. And to some people, they felt that government was overstepping their, or taking undue advantage at them or taking them for granted. But you see, when you are able to bring them on board and you are able to put them on that platform where they get to understand the policies that you have for the people, you encourage them to help with development. And so I think his call to get chiefs on board is the right thing. We have neglected them for a long time. And if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia sees wisdom in bringing them in, I think it's something that we should all support.
I actually wanted to capture something so that we keep it in mind. Today is World Youth Day, and the Ghana Action Network actually released a statement. I just want to read it before I go to Beatrice. So it says that empowering Ghanaian youth for digital progress, good governance, and peaceful elections. On this significant occasion of World Youth Day 2024, Ghana Action Network proudly joins youth across the country, the globe, in commemorating the theme From Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathway for Sustainable Development. This year, theme reflects the transformative power of digital technology in the hands of the youth, who are not only the most active users of digital platforms, but also the architects of the future driven by innovation, connectivity, and sustainable development. As we celebrate the strides made in the digital realm, we also recognize a critical intersection between digital empowerment and civic engagement, particularly in the context of good governance and political participation. The youth of Ghana stand at a crossroad where their digital prowess, or prowess, as some will pronounce, must be harnessed for the betterment of the nation, especially as we approach the December 7, 2024 general elections. So we have digital empowerment for good governance. In an era where clicks and key strokes can influence public opinions, mobilize communities, and hold leaders accountable, the role of the youth in promoting good governance cannot be overstated. Social media and digital platforms have become powerful tools for advocacy, transparency, and civic education. The Ghana Action Network calls on the youth to utilize these digital pathways to foster a culture of accountability and active participation in democratic progress or process. So the elections present a unique opportunity for the youth to leverage their digital skills to ensure that the election process is fair, transparent, and inclusive. By using social media to share accurate information, engage in constructive dialogue, and amplify the voices of those committed to positive change, the youth can significantly contribute to the integrity of our elections and overall governance of the nation. And I like the fact that it's not a statement filled with violence and, threats and things, because we know what youth in other countries are doing. Very, very aggressive in demanding for accountability. So if the Ghanaian leader is lucky to have a youth like Ghanaian youth, you must be grateful that they're behaving the way they're behaving. Anyway, so that is just part of the statement. It's quite a long one. I can't read the whole thing. So, and it is signed by Salom Dramani Dramado, who is the leader of the Ghana Action Network. Beatrice, let me come to you also on your campaign issues. From Upper East, you're going to Volta tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But before we come to the campaign, I want to say that a happy International Youth Day to every young person and every youth. I think in Africa it ends at 35 or so. Is it 35 or 40? So I mean, it means you're not a youth.
You know my age.
But I suppose that you're not a youth. But I think that happy International Youth Day to every young person out there. I have a bit of cold, and so forgive me if I sound nasal, but we are having to celebrate International Youth Day at a time when Ghana is not at a good place. The MPP government has been so reckless that we cannot even call their misgovernance reckless again. I think that it qualifies to be what in law we call negligent. They are so negligently reckless that every time you walk into the studios and you are even in a very good mood and you want to, speak very slowly, you begin to think about your nation. You begin to think about saying something to the people, like wishing young people Happy International Youth Day. You have no option than to get angry. You can imagine celebrating International Youth Day today, and then we are being told that our national debt has been so recklessly mismanaged that we have moved from 120 billion to 742 billion. And we are being told that, hey, keep faith with us, keep faith to keep borrowing. So Ken Oforiatta, the president's brother, will benefit $9.2 million to the detriment of the many young people watching the show this morning. We are being told that, hey, we are going to use every means possible. At the time when young people worked their life and they saved off in their pension, and today the government is just taking away their, when we were young, Yofi Grant, GIPC, I recall vividly well going for a certain conference and telling us to save so much. In fact, he says that if you save 100 cedis, at a time he was the motivational speaker, and you don't touch us, and every year you were saving 100 cedis, by the time you were 60 years, you will be a millionaire. Out of that motivational speaking, I think that I even deposited 150 cedis at Data Bank. I never even continued again. This was somewhere in 2006 or so. Today, the principles which they themselves mounted and told people that save, do not stock and stash the monies under your bed like Cecilia Dapa. Save. Do not use the money to buy expensive handbag like we have some people in this country do with the taxpayers' money. Save today, all those savings. We are having to tell young people that, and I heard something about growth mindset. Please, let's stop joking in this country. The jokes are too much. I hope this is also one of the jokes, like Dr. Baumia told the pastors he was joking. Let's stop joking in this country. It's as if people don't respect us. It's as if the NPP thinks that we are some zombies. They can just tell us what they want. And so at the time when the president has told us that for 40 years, our country has never been in the state we find ourselves, how do we have a growth mindset on an empty stomach? How do we have a growth mindset at a time when unemployment is at its highest? Youth unemployment, more than 1.9 million people cannot find jobs. 87% of Ghanaians went a day without one cedi. 9 out of 10 Ghanaians say that the country is in the wrong direction. We did not vote for motivational speakers. Dare to me dems have had their days. We don't need additional dare to me's to come and tell us keep faith, have hope, growth mindset. What are we doing with abstractions? Are we doing literature? Are we in some metaphysical world? People need real-time solution, and that is why they say sometimes in Ghana people don't vote on the basis of policies. But I think as young people, we owe it a duty, whether you are NDC, MPP, to compel your political parties to bring the right policies. Because see, Annie, we are living at a time when the government has invested 2.9 billion cedis in planting for food and jobs. And as at the end of 2023, food inflation was 55%. You are having to spend more than half of your earnings on just buying food. And we are being told what? Keep faith. Keep faith with who? With who? With the same MPP government that led us into this ditch. Keep faith with who?
Coming with a different leadership.
With which leadership?
Coming with.
I mean, that is the, Dr. Baumia is using the consultant for Ruto. And so he was told that, just like Ruto did, distance yourself from the government.
The consultant for Ruto's election?
Yes, Ruto's election.
You mean his political campaign?
Yes. So he was told, Ruto distanced himself from there, but he was too late. Because he waited till the establishment brought him as a candidate before distancing himself. See, if MPP comes to power, who are the ministers they are going to run the country with? Those people will come from Jupiter or Mars.
Ruto even, carried out his strategy. It's not doing him any good today. I mean, today he's not the best.
Even before I come there, today Ruto cannot even sleep for 1 hour. Because the young people, and at the time when all these things are happening to Ruto in Kenya, their inflation is single digits. They don't have the depreciation that we have. So the conditions in Kenya are even better. And so I think that devoid of partisanship, Dr. Bawumia must begin to take the people of Ghana very seriously. The jokes are too many on the platform. The dancing is too much. And certainly when we are asked to put our policies across, we ought to do better by telling the people exactly, and the motivational speaking is just too much. Now, having said that, I think that when the NDC says that it will do something, the NDC has earned the right, and for that matter, the credibility to be the party that has Ghana at heart. And why do I say that? There are some economic buffers that even in the state of our hopelessness, the only economic buffers that is actually keeping us are, about 8 or 9. And then those buffers were the creation of the NDC government. The NPP has not created a single economic buffer to help this country, whether in times of need or in times of comfort. And so before I tell you the policies, I want to establish that ground, that the NDC has the credibility to do what it says it will do. And just not for election winning purposes, that which transcends the NDC, whether we are in power or out of power. The first one is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the GIPC. Today, the reason you are having to have all these talos and the multinationals come into the country is because of the GIPC. The NPP has none to their credit. They will come, appoint the GIPC, appoint a deputy in charge of operation, a deputy in charge of something, they only share the post. The second one is the Get Fund. Get Fund remains the biggest social intervention today, and that is the baby of the NDC. Again, we have the Heritage Fund, where the NDC is not just thinking about squandering everything we make today, but even for the future generation. So whereas you have a government that cannot procure vaccines for children, the NDC is saving for children. Then we have the Stabilization Fund. It's the creation of the NDC. We have the Ghana Infrastructural Investment Fund. It's the creation of the NDC. We have the ESLA today, but for the ESLA, our energy sector would have collapsed. Even the VAT, that made, how do you call it, Nanado very popular with the Kumupreku. When they came, they have come to over increase. That VAT is what is keeping that. The Ghana Exim Bank, which they are started giving to Wontumi and his associates and artists. Wontumi was a beneficiary of the Exim Bank, which was meant for import and export. Then you have the Ghana Free Zones Authority. So when the NDC says...
It used to be Free Zone Board then.
Yes. So when the NDC says that we have what it takes to reset our nation, we have what it takes to build the Ghana we want, we are not just puffing, or these are not just mere words. We have demonstrated that today, these are the buffers that the NPP has even mismanaged. But for these things I have mentioned, where would we have been? What is the NPP's equivalent of that? Zilch. And so having established that, it is important to say that, and the number one thing that threatens our national security, our economic stability, and everything there is unemployment. To solve the issue of the unemployment, the NDC recognizes that we cannot continue doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. And so in the next administration of the NDC, we are bringing the transformative economic policy, which is the 24-hour economic policy. That policy is calculated for industries and government agencies to run a 3-shift system so that you can keep the economy going, production will increase, and then many people will also get employment. Having established that, the second thing the NDC wants to do is to train 1 million coders, which is the 1 million coders program. And this is to train young people, whether you have tertiary education or not. As long as you are good with computers, you will be trained.
It's not something Dr. Bawumia also mentioned.
Oh, we mentioned it long ago before he came to mention. We even mentioned it in the 2020 campaign. And I'll come there. When I finish, I'll tell you our promises that Dr. Bawumia has even plagiarized or appropriated to himself. So, and you see, when the NDC says that we will train 1 million coders, we just don't talk because somebody has said it. The NDC is credited with so much investment in the telecommunication industry. You know the Accra Digital Center. The aim of the Accra Digital Center that President John Mahama built was to help these young people so that you would go there, what we call the BPOs, you will be there and you will have the needed infrastructure to work everywhere. So when we say we establish 1 million coders program, we have not just set something in the air because people must vote for us. No, we have demonstrated that when it comes to technology, these are our investments. The fiber optics. This government has not laid a 1 kilometer fiber optics. The NDC government has laid every fiber optics in this country. So when it comes to that, the NDC has the credibility. We have said that at a time when Ghana cannot pay its external debts, a former Chief Justice is leading pensioners demonstrating at the Finance Ministry. We cannot continue to run this huge government. And so we are going to reduce the number of ministers from the 120 and beyond they have to 60 ministers, cutting by half. And not just reducing ministers, and President Mahama says that if you want to serve in his government, you will not be entitled to ex-gratia as a member of the executive. And so we will scrap ex-gratia. And it's not just scrapping the ex-gratia. The fuel they give to government appointees, paying DSTV, and all those largesse, it will be scrapped. And so I'm sure in the next NDC government, not many people will even want to be ministers because we will not make the ministry lucrative for people because we've got to a stage in our lives where we will have to choose the option of investing in young people and doing the right thing and not making the political class the most comfortable place. Now, we are also saying that we are bringing the National Apprenticeship Program where young people who have the love for, handiworks like tailoring, like mechanics, like hairdressers and all that, government will train you for free and give you a startup kit. We are also saying
that policy, to me, it's sort of a recycle policy for all the political parties. Like every time political parties want to come into power, they find a way to bring back that particular policy under a different name or caption. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's
they don't have that policy now.
Who doesn't have that policy now?
doesn't have that policy.
But what was these people that we have not paid? What do you call them? NAPCO. The NAPCO trainees. What were they supposed to be doing?
Those were their ad hoc measures they claim they have used to solve unemployment. This one is to train people to be self-employed. So it's not that government is going to employ them. So if my sister wants to learn how to, braid,
yeah,
and she doesn't have the means to, government will take that responsibility and assign her.
Yeah.
So she's not giving the money direct.
Yeah, but the current one that the MPP said it was training KIAs. It was almost the same
No, I
thing.
think that is, I don't know whether that's a government initiative.
Yes, they were training them in makeup and all. It was a campaign. Tabitha, maybe you can correct me.
Yeah, it's a campaign message.
Is it a campaign?
Yes, it's campaign.
Sorry, is it a government policy or it's a campaign?
No, it's a okay, so it was one of it's actually in our manifesto that we said we will make sure that we train KIAs. Okay. Instead of levying them to pay, like how the NDC levied them to pay, we are rather going to take them out of the streets and we are going to train them, give them skills and take them out of the streets and give them startup capital. You remember there was a time they were touting Bawku with liar, yes, and they said he lied that he would be taking them out of the streets. Which he didn't take them, which he actually came
so
and
he has
taken them out of the streets. He has taken them out of the streets. Okay. As we are talking, they have 3 points.
They are
one in Medina, one at Ashaman, and I think there's another one too in Ashanti region. There are 3 that they have built, but for now, it's only the one that is, I think the one on the Medina stretch that is working.
Okay, so Annie, next to my point, I think that for the longest time, I was a divorce attorney. I don't know, my office, they used to say that I do a lot of divorce, but also for a purpose, because I think women were not empowered enough. And so anytime there was a divorce, women suffered. And so I'm particularly passionate about this next policy I'm going to tell you about, which is the National Women's Development Bank, which is calculated to help women get soft loans to invest in their business. Because you know what? Today, under Baumia, the interest rate is between 35 to 40%. No business can borrow at that rate and be able to meet its repayment obligation. And when you are also going to, take these facilities, you need collateral. You need something to give to the banks to show that in the event of default, you will fall on it. I had to sell a house of a very popular supermarket owner because at the time he contracted the loan, he could not pay and he had to go for the house. Now he was able to get that loan because he had the house, but without the house, and it's also because his name is on the house, but the wife will not have the same opportunity. And generally, women are not property owners. And even if a woman was, they'll normally put the name of a man on as a sign of his head of family and all that. So it's a great barrier to women accessing credit. And that is why the collapse of the GN Bank collapsed basically a lot of things. Because what GN Bank was doing was trying to, fill in the stopgap measure where the commercial banks, you can't have those small women taking loans from there. So I'm very excited about the Women's Development Bank because it will be tailored towards the needs of women within the society. Now, the one that I'm also excited about, the policies are a lot.
Yes,
the farmer, yes, so I can't say also. Let me wrap up with 3. Farmer Service Center. I've had the benefit of traveling across the 16 regions with President Mahama, and I can tell you that predominantly Ghanaians are farmers. When you stay in Accra, it feels like it's not the case. I never saw, for the first time I was now seeing kontomire plant, maize. I didn't know how it was. Yeah, because I'm an Accra girl. Maybe you come a bit from the village. So predominantly people are farmers. And so President Mahama says that if you look at how the prices of food have escalated over the past, the Ghana Fiscal Service is telling us that more than 60% of the income of people are spent on food. It means that we are nearing food insecurity and people will not be able to afford food. And so we are going to support farmers through the Farmer Service Support Center. This message has been so widely received by farmers everywhere. I've had opportunity of interacting with farmers, and they are saying that because of the promise to provide them with seedlings, with combined harvesters, with tractors, and with machines and everything on a high purchase basis, they are excited. And you see, when the NDC says they'll do something for farmers, believe the NDC. Why? It's the NDC that gave farmers free fertilizer in the cocoa farms. Today, and at a point, we are producing more than 900,000 tons of cocoa. Today, shamelessly, cocoa production is below 500,000. These people are saying, keep faith with us. Every indicator under us is showing that we are doing so bad. See, take any sector this morning and let's debate it. The MPP government has done woefully, bad in every sector. So when the NDC says that, now you know what? The NDC is the party that has the track record of establishing university. And let me say that when we establish the university, we don't name it after ourselves. It is those who do not have the track record of establishing university that wants to name the university after their fathers and grandfathers. Because we have the track record. President Rawlings, UDS, he never named it after himself. In fact, President Rawlings was against naming national emolument under himself, after himself. And that shows you that he was not engaged in some self-aggrandizement. The president that we have, he even wanted to change University of Ghana to JB Dankwa University. Today, I don't know the name of UDS. What's the name of UDS? Something Dombo. So the last time I said, what is happening here?
And you have to learn if they change.
I can't learn that.
Why?
You build a university and name it after your party founder or something. But somebody's university, then you come and name it. Who does that? So the NDC is saying that regions are not developed because regions are created. Regions are created because there is a need for the people in that region. It's called what?
Can you give us a full picture so we can
Simon what?
Simon Diego Dombo University of Business
then
and
my
Integrated.
child will go to school for 4
let me
years.
mention it for your child. He is listening. Simon what?
You can't mention
Diedon. Oh, you will give me the Simon Diedon Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. UDD.
So
UDD, UBID.
Look at the joke. We are not serious in this country. President Mahama is saying that in the newly created regions, we will give them regional hospitals and regional universities because there are some indicators that you must have to show that, yes, you are a region. And the NDC has a track record of building a lot of colleges of education. When it comes to regional hospital, indeed, we have a track record. Our track record is not that we are doing it or we will do it. Our track record is that today, people walk to the hospitals which have been built by the NDC. Ridge Hospital to my right, University of Ghana Medical Center to my left. And so this is a party that has a track record that, and you know, I'm happy to speak for a leader who doesn't just say anything at all. On the campaign tour, President Mahama hasn't said anything that later he will come and say it's a joke. And I was shocked that in mentioning the policies of Dr. Bawumia, nobody mentioned the 1 cedi, 2 cedi phone. Because I thought that would have been a flashy program.
How? Why would it be?
I haven't heard the 1 cedi, 2 cedi
yes,
phone.
but it cannot be a flashy program. 1 cedi, 2 cedi phone.
So now you speak for him. The man was everywhere campaigning with that until it backfired though.
It didn't backfire. Who says it backfired?
Have you heard him say it again?
Doesn't mean
later
that
he has changed. He said that the phones will no longer be 1 cedi, 2 cedi, but they will pay small. Now he has changed it. So in concluding, Annie, it's important that
you are just mocking the policy.
Because it's not something we should be saying. That's not how that policy is done. So I'm saying that in conclusion, the destiny of Ghanaian people is a very serious business. The hope that young people want to have in political parties is not a hope of political sloganeering and gimmick. We must get to a point where people will take politicians seriously. And I can speak for the NDC and President Mahama that throughout the campaign, and even when we come to your constituency near you, President Mahama is not coming to joke. He's not coming to dance to excite you. We are coming and we are communicating our policy. And these are not just policies which, because an opponent says, let me say it, these are policies that we have researchers in the background, and so they are research backed. And while we do that, the NDC is open to listening and engaging with you wherever we are, because we cannot for our life continue to have this group of MPP people in power. You know why? They will buy our hotels if you vote for them. Brian Chapo is waiting at the corner. He will buy the hotels. The ministers will stash millions under their bed. They will revive the Ejapa deal in consonance with the Ejapadia will they want to will to the nation. Ken Oforiate's $9.2 million that has benefited by reason of his affinity with the president will continue. There will be no motivation for them to do the right thing. There will be no motivation. That unemployment will even get to 40%.
Right.
So we owe it a duty as a people to reject anything MPP. Otherwise, we risk being worse than we are.
So just a quick one before we'll take a breather and come back. So can you remember 15 years ago, you had just bought your first mobile phone or sent a text via the internet for the very first time, or just discovered that ease of moving money around conveniently? Think back to all those moments. Momo has been there for you. Guess what? Momo is 15 years old, and from the first time you sent money to loved one to paying your bills effortlessly, today, the enjoying peace of mind that comes with secure, safe, and reliable transactions, it's been an amazing journey so far. Now, get ready for some mouth-watering offers as we celebrate Momo at 15. Look out for market storms and floats near you and win some mind-blowing prizes. Thank you, Ghana, for doing this with us. Download your Momo App Store or Google Play, or just Momo it everywhere you go. And that is a package MTN has for you. Kel 360 toothpaste is also for your family, and it's recommended 360 toothpaste approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. It provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for the kids and adults as well. So let your family be proud of using Kel 360 toothpaste as they step out. So it's a product from Samara Company Limited, and it's available in all supermarkets and shops. Call them on 0246864798 or 0246864798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. Lift and elevator is also on the market and is available to help you during the pains of climbing your stairs, and not exercising could be challenging, but you worry no more. Lift and elevators have you gotten covered, and it has the best and portable American pneumatic vacuum elevator on the market today. So it's simple and self-supported for both homes and offices. So guess what? It can also lift your goods as well. Wheelchairs can be fitted in 3 days, and you have it customized for you. It's affordable and can be installed within the 3 days. Lift and elevators is located at Sakumono. Call them on 02005-35515 or send them an email to elevators@gmail.com.gh. Sorry, elevators@gmail.com. Elevators@gmail.com, please. And for your consultation and best solutions, they are available for you. Let me just take a quick break. When I come back, I'm sure every time I want to do some rebuts. And then comments have been made by Brian Achampo as we go into the elections. I think he's really insisting that the MPP will win power. And from the office of Beatrice, the communication officers have also responded in good faith. So we would want to come and analyze if these two parties want to plunge us into chaos. We'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in.
Madam Recito!
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Bet. Blast. Boom. Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan call me buru.
Mami do buru. Ni atele be ko. Bra, mumi Yamfan call Dr. Ban ho.
Dr. Ban no ya de.
Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma, sasabro sro Dr. Ban oye.
Hey, say ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh, no mpemu nimdi onu na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Luck it's men missing opportunity to be the luckiest. It's time to put some smile on your face. Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial *712#. Now password to tickets not as a group, individual and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. And let me just remind you that Ayesoko Betway is giving you way more control over every trillion bet you place. So enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana today. Be on Betway. Sign on to it. It's betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and also regulated by the Gaming Commission. Betway, get way more. Also, Blue Jeans energy drink is still on the market for you. It's been there for 20 good years, and you already know what it does for the body. It contains nutrients, including vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It is indeed the best on the market. Blue Jeans energy drink is for both and active men and women. So go on and grab a can today to power your day. It's in shops nationwide. Budget Cash and Carry Limited. Contact them on 0208 128 190 or 055 0010000. Right, let me come to Tabitha. Tabitha, let's use just about some 2 minutes each to do a rebuttal, and then we go on to the OSP. But we can also chip in the issue of Brian Achampong comments. Why that consistency in the comments of sounding more like threatening? I don't know, well, if that's the best word, but I think for want of better expression, threatening.
Okay, so I think when Beatrice was talking, she made mention of something that I think probably next time you shouldn't allow her to say such words. For calling my candidate a joker, I think it is too much. I think she's playing too much. Politics is not a game that we play. It's where people's lives are involved. Are you calling Dr. Bawumia a joker just because he dances not to appease you? Anyway, it's fine. But then, your candidate, who is a confident trickster, that you people are trying so hard to dress him up as one that Ghanaians should vote for. I think Ghanaians already know who he is. They know that he is somebody that doesn't speak the truth, because he himself said that. And excuse me to say it in Twi, because he said it in Twi, that it drew about one renswa. He said it, I didn't say it. And I would like that every morning when we come here, because it's campaign time, because he said during campaigns, people lie. You play that video just like how you play other videos on television, so that people will be aware that when we come and sit here, some people will definitely lie, and that they should hold them accountable. You sit here and talk about unemployment. Anyway, let me thank the youth of Ghana for keeping faith with this government. Unfortunately, if the NDC had done what they were supposed to do during their tenure, especially during Mohammed's time, we wouldn't be faced with unemployment. Why am I saying so? We all know there was a freeze in the public sector. From 2012 to 2016, there was freeze. Nurses were not employed. The only time he employed was in 2016, December. And he thinks it's the same thing and the MPP is doing. No, MPP, we are not doing that. We have a track record. You can go and check. And if I'm lying, the nurses and midwives in Ghana or the health sector people can come out and say, Tabitha lied on your platform. For instance, from 2017 to 2023, it is on record that we have been employing health sector workers. An unprecedented number of 50,000 people were recruited only in 2020 during COVID, because we saw that there was a need to get more people on board so that people of Ghana don't die. A record of 50,000, unprecedented. Now, if you look at the records, from 2017 to 2023, we have recorded over 170,000 health workers. The records is there. Go and check. What is your track record? Don't just come here and fuel the atmosphere with lies and insults. It doesn't solve the problem of the Ghanaian people. When it comes to training of the young people, we have trained a lot of people. YEA has a model. They have trained over 10,000 youth. Currently, they are training the youth in carpentry, masonry, tilers are there, and other, skills that they are training them with. And every month they pay them 500 Ghana cedis. This is going on. Go and check. I made mention of the Kaya, which I said there are 3 branches, but only one is operational. Upon the checks that I have done, I realized that there are 2 that is operating, both Medina and Ashama. Okay. So when we come here, let's say things that people have benefited. You go to our schools right now, and you will see that girls are dominating. Because on the face of our records, girls are dominating population-wise. So why not, when we go back to schools and we get more girls in school?
How do you mean? Which of your policies, led to that?
Our free senior high school policy.
No.
Which one led to that?
Girls have been dominating in schools even since I was a kid.
You are sorry, but it's a lie.
You're telling me I'm telling lies?
Yes, because the records is there that we have attained gender parity.
That in my school,
yes,
when I was in primary school, when I was in JHS,
yes,
when I was in SHS, girls were more than guys in any of the class I sat in. And you are telling me that's a lie?
Okay, fine, maybe your class. But I'm saying that per the statistics that we have, you can go and check with GES that it is only in this government that we've had gender parity at school. Don't just limit it to your school only and your classroom. Because if I am also going to limit it to my school, if I'm going to limit it to my school,
take your time.
I was a science student, and we were only 3 girls that did, is it 5, that did chemistry at the the graduate level. Even at the postgraduate level, we were only 2 ladies that did chemistry. But now go and check, the statistics is there, that we have attained gender parity. No, if you are limiting it to your class, and I'm saying that I am not limiting it to your class.
I'm not limiting to my class.
So where did you get this information that we have gender parity?
Tabitha.
In the history of Ghana?
Tabitha, I'm not limiting to my class.
Okay.
I'm telling you that girls,
and I say it's a lie.
Girls have always outnumbered boys in school.
It's not true.
Continue.
It's not true.
Fine, you continue.
You can go anywhere and contest this. It's not true.
Okay, continue.
Gender parity was attained under this government.
We've taken your position. You continue.
Another thing, policies. We're talking about policies, and she's talking about get fund and stuff. I don't think they are policies.
She didn't say policy. She said social intervention programs. Yes.
To make sure.
Okay, fine. Okay, to make sure that your policies. So what are the policies you have? You see,
she said
I have been talking to the youth of Ghana, and I always tell them that, look, thank God for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Ekufuado. Because I remember when I was a student back at secondary school, we used to queue at MP's offices just to get what they call the MP's Common Fund to help us get through. go to school, go to the university. We used to go and look for people's parents who are government workers to guarantee for us to take loans. But this government has come to take all those things away. You don't need anybody. You don't have to go to anybody to beg. Girls are no longer so vulnerable that men will have to take advantage of them before they go to school. It's this government that has taken away this particular struggle. The no guarantor system. And you know, your parents, of course, it's not everybody's parent that is a government worker. So how do you get, what do you call it? They call it the money that they give to students. You needed a guarantor. But MPP said, no, you don't need a guarantor anymore. Yeah, the student loans. You don't need a guarantor. And even those days, you go on retirement and you are looking for these people to come and pay up so that you take your money, and it's a struggle. So government has solved two problems at once. This government is the one we should keep. And when I see young people who do not understand, especially the Gen Zs, I feel sad. Because when people like Beatrice talk and they listen to them without referring to the records that we have, they may think that they are saying the truth, but they are lying. Just yesterday, I went to do my hair. And the girl that did my hair, I engaged with her and I was like, how old are you? She told me. I said, so have you been to school? That yes. That, oh, but seriously, and can you MPP? I mean, coming to me in secondary school. Because me, mama, me, papa, munko school da. And obi anywhere obi to me abuame. And to me, dear, metwa my MPP because omunti na ene mikita SSS certificates. These people are talking for themselves. But for MPP, where would that girl have been? Medical students who need extra training to become specialized or specialist, what they call doctors, we give it to them free, even though they are working and they are taking their full salary. This is a government that took people as teachers. They taught for 3 good years and you paid them 3 months out of the 3 years. And you still have the moral right, the sanity to come and tell them that vote for me. How cruel can you be? How heartless can you be? That you go and meet nurses today and tell them that I will give you jobs. How are you going to give them jobs when you froze employment from 2012 to 2016? But for your freeze, we wouldn't have had a backlog that we have to come as a government and suffer to recruit all these people that were already existing. We have to take that backlog. And now we are struggling to take those that are even ones that we trained under our regime. And we realize that with this backlog, if we don't build more hospitals, we cannot be able to absorb all these nurses, because where will they work? And when we are going to talk, they bring their 24 whatever. Now I'm telling you this. If you wrap a lie nicely, don't worry. Time will reveal what that lie is. How are you going to do 24 hours if you don't have the facilities and the structures in place to carry that particular policy? We are building the structures.
For what? For 24 hours?
Of course. Because already, if you look at our health sector, it's 24 hours. The court system, we have decided to bring the shift system. Look at the number of people we have recruited in the security services.
So the 24 hours economy...
It is a sham.
It's possible.
It is fake. It is a scam. Because the structures that they need to put in place, they are not fully implemented.
No.
And the ones that are presently...
No. By your premise.
No,
Tabitha,
I know what I'm saying.
Tabitha, by your premise, 24-hour economy is possible. Because
it is possible
because it's being implemented now.
Because it's a conditional statement. If only the structures are in place. Now, I will always refer back to when Barack Obama came to Ghana. His visit to Ghana, he said something. That we should build strong institutions. And that is what this government is doing. Building strong and resilient institutions.
Okay, land.
And so, my message to the youth of Ghana is that every Thursday and Sunday, Miracles Abuaji has a program he calls the Next Chapter. This is where all the propaganda is killed, because we will give you documents. We will give you the history, the background, where we came from, where we have gotten to, and where we are going.
Okay. Okay.
We will show you evidence. This platform is not big enough to do all these things, but this is where you will get it. And on Facebook, I know you are very active on Facebook. Go to Facebook. There is a page we call the Bawumia campaign. Just write the Bawumia campaign and you get all the series so far. We will not allow them to lie on this platform. Thank you.
I think that the time is far gone, so I won't spend
very brief.
Yes, I won't spend my time on this.
Thank
I think I'll give you the opportunity for us to do the OSP. And while Tabitha, I got it right. While Tabitha is shouting, the General Secretary of the MPP is also on Facebook ranting. It's been quite a difficult week for the party. I can understand the difficulty. He was saying they went to Bono regions and other places, and they are realizing that their appointees are not in touch at all.
Oh, okay. Did he say that on Facebook, or he said that on?
No, he said it, he wrote it on Facebook.
On Facebook. Oh,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
So the appointees not being in touch. It's not just the appointees. The communicators are not listening. You know, if you are in government and your body language and how you talk to the 1.9 million people watching you should be different. You don't have to shout.
How you don't teach me anything here.
I'm not teaching you.
I'm just
teaching,
cautioning you.
teaching
You don't
the
teach me
young people how
here.
to listen. When you're talking to the nurses who for 30 months you haven't paid their allowance, and some have even finished school, and it took a young girl to expose Dr. Bawumia on a platform. When you are talking, you must watch your body language. When you are talking to people who...
I said you don't teach me anything on this
I'm not
platform.
teaching you.
Good.
I'm teaching your other communicators. I'm sure they are also watching. When you are talking as a government communicator, and you are talking to the many people who you are told that 9 out of the people, despite all what you have enumerated, are saying that the country is moving in the wrong direction, then you should know that your efforts are not yielding results. Because you know why? We don't measure by efforts. And that's the mistake the MPP does. You know, Annie, you know why in the corporate world, when you are giving KPIs, they measure by results? Because, Annie, I can come to this studio and be scribbling down things and hold so many things, and then when you ask me to make my submission, I won't make anything. I was only putting in efforts. The result, zilch. So for all the efforts we are being told you have made, the result is zilch. 9 out of 10 Ghanaians say that whatever you have said has become very irrelevant. So for the people you keep telling, we have done planting for food and jobs, and the planting, they are saying that they cannot afford food. So maybe you should pause and listen to why you keep pumping money to your party members, and the people cannot afford food. The Brian Champo matter. The minister who is responsible for food, agriculture, is interested in buying hotels and not stabilizing food prices. And we should watch Dennis Miracle Awaje for what? That's when we get to the markets.
I don't think it's necessary. That's another platform.
No. She was inviting people. I can divide people. So what I'm saying is that these people are just talking on top of their heads. They are not listening to people. They seem to be, apart, as if they don't live in Ghana. And rightly so, their secretary has said it, that the appointees are not on the ground. Because if you are on the ground, you will know that for more than 4 years, there are nurses at home. You haven't employed them. Which government has not employed nurses and doctors in Ghana before? Which government hasn't employed nurses and doctors? When it comes to the health sector, you have the worst and abysmal performance in the health sector. And so when you are doing something and people are talking, they are telling you that their lives are worse off, you must pause and reflect and listen. Because what's the point in coming to tell me that we are pumping money, we are doing this, and we can't see anything? What should we do with that? Did we vote for you to come and tell us the effort?
I need to confirm, but did I hear that the Kolebu Renal University?
Yes, this morning when I came, I was even discussing with your makeup artist. I'm saying that Kolebu, which talks about me again, who we are told we shouldn't call a joker, went to stand on a platform and told the people that now government was going to subsidize the dialysis. 2 people have died for 2 weeks because the dialysis center in Kolebu is not working. So when you come and sit here and say, Dr. Baumia promised people.
So we have 2 more people who have died.
Yes.
I mean, apart from the 19.
Yes, 2 more people just in this 2 weeks. And then we are being told that, you know what, be grateful because for some reason we announced. Please, the joke is too much. And let me say that for Brian Champon, he's the most coward of the men in NPP. If they are men in NPP, Brian Champon is not one. Did you not listen to the man when he wanted to buy hotel and he was granting interview alongside Honorable Okujato? He practically was crying. Is that a man? Okujato Ablakwa. Yes. He practically he couldn't even tell the difference between a director and a shareholder. But he, by a champion, you know what? He is so much of a coward. And you know, you journalists, sometimes if you are covering routes, you have to stand, and when the people are throwing stones, sometimes you even when you watch the out,
you have to duck.
He cannot even do that.
He can't duck.
When he was, let me show you. When he was a PC, or he wanted to be a PC for MPP at Suhum, together with Opariansa, their primaries and contests became very bloody with cutlasses and things. He ran away. He couldn't even stand one constituency. He ran to Abetisi. Please, men with balls. I don't think Barry Champon should. And what does it take? Barry Champon, who is he? Maybe, good morning, Ghana, we should spend our time on more prominent people. The man, as a great minister, he can't find his way. The only man that the Commission of Inquiry has found to be a person with no integrity, he hasn't gone to court to set aside the findings. Let's get more serious and discuss the OSP matter. But the MPP must know that they have failed. They have just, you see, sometimes, whereas the finance minister is admitting that they have failed and they are apologizing, Tabitha in the studio is telling us, oh, we are doing well. Whose own should we take? The finance minister says that Ghanaians, we are sorry, we haven't done well. Tabitha says we have done so well. So whose own should we take? Whose own should we take?
All right, so Beatrice, thank you for cutting it short. But let's use the rest of the time to focus a bit on OSP. So the report of the investigation actually came out last week from the OSP's office. I don't know if I should say that there are 2 different interpretations to the report. Yes, I want to believe that there are 2 different interpretations. But from the office of the OSP, former President Mahama has been vindicated. He made a comment about it on the campaign trail. He said,
yes.
It feels good to be exonerated, right? So, comments from the President Mahama obviously has welcomed the report, but it looks like the albatross of government official one still hangs around his neck,
There
sort
is
of.
no albatross.
All right, Beatrice, let me hear you on that.
The day the OSP was granting or was, addressing the press, I wasn't listening, but senior journalists sent me messages, or some senior journalists, to the effect that they have been asked to come in studio to come and break some news because some way, somehow, at the time, the OSP had got to the part where he said government official 1 is President Mahama. So, as usual, some of the MPP apologists, without having to wait, thought that they landed meat. Only for the people to leave their homes, and then by the time they got to the studio, there was no breaking news again to break. But I want to say that, and I was personally teary, because you see, if you have a man who built a hospital, who knows how to build teaching hospitals, who knows how to build roads, who knows how to invest in the pharmaceutical industry, who knows how to build the nation and was on a mission to building his nation. And you have a group of people who came to brag, saying that at the time President Mahama was building 200 secondary schools, we could do 350. At the time he was building Rich Hospital, they say, oh, the price is too much. Today, they have sunk the same amounts we used to build the Rich, almost the same amounts we used to build the Rich Hospital in a cathedral and in a hole. At the time he was building the UGMC, they said, we don't chew projects. We want money in our pocket. Today, they have nothing to show. And yet, they vilified the man so much. I think that for me, is a very teary moment. It's a moment that shows that lies have a very short lifespan, and vindication is really in the womb of time. I remember asking that, what does it mean when we say posterity? Because normally when someone says posterity will judge me, you would think that it is after the person is dead and gone, like they did to Nkrumah when Nkrumah was building the motorway. Yesterday, I took my children to the Lagos Hope, and when you are driving through the harbor, at the time Nkrumah was building the harbor, they said that this was not necessary. At the time Nkrumah was building, so they did the same to Nkrumah, and they are doing the same to the same descendant. And I just wonder how a group of people will come out with such lies. How people can sit down and imagine lies but not imagine economic solutions. It beats my imagination. And Annie, apparently I found out that it was in the Japadia book. You know the Airbus thing was in the Japadia book. It was in the Japadia book that going into the 2020 election, we must, as a matter of necessity, put more prominence on the Airbus scandal to deliberately paint President Mahama as a corrupt person. And I say that President Mahama is about the only politician who has stayed in office and has left office and has been able to subject himself to investigation and has been found to be squeaky clean. And because of your introductory statement, that some people have placed double meaning on there. There is no double meaning. Let me say it. Kisie Jaben was my criminal law lecturer. There is no double meaning. In fact, he wrote with so much clarity. And let me read to you paragraph 6.28.
I was actually looking at paragraph 3, but you can...
Paragraph 3, there you are, you are ahead.
I mean from 6.3.
This is the conclusion. Then again, the OSP found no evidentiary basis that suggests that former President John Dramani Mahama or any other public official was induced to improperly favor or did improperly favor Airbus in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. This is the summary of the matter. If anybody places any interpretation on it, then it is their own cup of tea. But you see, the MPP has sought to tag President Mahama with so many things. You know, sometimes when they even say, you know, the MPP people, they are not so confident. So sometimes they'll call President Mahama. He's so dishonest, they can't even stick to it. The last time, your man who comes on this show, Dr. Baomia's technical advisor, I've forgotten his name. He's contesting the Wale Wale seat with Baomia's.
Dr. Mahama.
Mahama. He posted something and he deleted it.
Oh.
No,
he deleted which one? Is it
he spoke about lies.
Muslims don't.
Yes, Muslims don't lie.
Or is it deleted?
Yeah, he deleted it. The pressure was too bad because in Ghana, lies is synonymous to something. But what I'm trying to say is that much as they try to stick or they try to get President Mahama with all the bad things, it will never stick. Let me give you the first example. They said that President Mahama has used 10 million CDs to print presidential diary. That statement was made by Nanado himself. And he lied about it. Now in Ghana, they say when people lie, you can't say they are liars. You can only say that he lied. So let me say he lied about it. You are in power 7 years. You have not been able to show that President Mahama used 10 million cedis to print diaries. Today, you have given your daughter $10 million out of 34, so you were only saying and lying about the man only for you to come and give your daughter $10 million. Sometimes I pity the MPP communicators. You come and sit on TV every morning, bath. You'll be on social media. Sometimes they even give them 700 cedis. The president's daughter has $10 million. What do you have? Those foot soldiers following and defending blindly, what do they have? They said that, and led by Captain Smart and others, President Mahama had bought houses in Dubai with the taxpayers' money. Today, President Mahama has become a hero. Captain Smart and all those journalists they lined up to lie about President Mahama, they have come out to say that they are sorry. They never knew this. In fact, Captain Smart said he went to Dubai and the address the MPP gave to them as the address of the alleged property, nothing existed there. They said that, you know what, President Mahama is so corrupt. Why? Because of a certain Airbus scandal. And today we are here. The OSP says that there is no evidentiary basis, and I wish we had time for me to take my time and tell viewers why we are where we are. You know, in this election, Ghanaians are presented with a candidate who is a nation builder as against a candidate who has run the country into bankruptcy. They say, oh, President Mahama's 120 billion debt from Nkrumah's time is so bad that, you know what, vote for us. We have 742. We are building a nation because we are bankrupt. I mean, where from this logic?
That's not what he said.
But that's
not what he said.
What did they
but probably
say?
you are trying to say that's what it implies.
No, so what did they say? Me, I always want to be corrected.
Go ahead, continue.
Okay. You are leading, you have a candidate who their own OSP, this OSP is not a member of the NDC. He was appointed by Nanado, and he has come out to say that President Mahama is squeaky clean, is by a sheer lack of coincidence. And so everything that the NPP will tell you about President Mahama and corruption, know that it is calculated to tarnish its image and to win more votes. You are talking about a man whose only crime was to love his nation. That when President Mahama got the opportunity, he did not give his daughters and sons $10 million. He did not use the money to build whole so that he will give an example. But like me and many others who have had the benefit of having surgeries at Ridge and UGMC, that is what he gave to his people. He did not do anything. He did not take money like we are seeing in the Pualugu Dam, led by Baumia. He took it and he built an airport, which the president has used than any other person in Ghana today. That is the man we are talking about. So I want people to know that this OSP report clearly shows that President Mahama is that leader who is not a liar. And on the campaign, one thing he's been saying, that I promise to be honest with you, my people. And he was honest during his presidency. They've tried, you know, when Dr. Baumia started lying and we started pointing out the lies, they've tried several times to look for President Mahama's whatever to see that he's a liar. President Mahama is not a liar. He's not corrupt, and certainly not one to say things just to win the vote. He's in to build our nation, and I think that that is the most important thing. But having said that, and you know that many people ask, but how did President Mahama even became involved with this Airbus scandal? What had happened was that in August 2008, and please, who was president in August 2008? Oh. And your history is bad. President Kufuor was president in August 2008. The Ghana Armed Forces Council made a decision to replace what they call their Fokker F-27 medium lift aircraft. And they said that they were going to replace their old aircraft with another aircraft called the C-2J7 Spartan aircraft. And then they agreed that they were going to get this aircraft from the American government, either with grant or loan. After negotiation and back and forth, the Ghana Armed Forces realized that by the time the American people would deliver the aircraft, the price would have gone higher. And the time of delivery was also 2012, which, I mean, would have posed a challenge to them. So they changed their decision. And please listen to this part carefully. And I want viewers to travel with me carefully on this part. So the Ghana Armed Forces, even without President John Mahama not being a vice president, decided that they were now going to buy another aircraft which served a similar purpose, called the CASA 295.
This was in 2012.
This was in 2008.
Oh, 2008, okay.
When President Mahama was not vice president. Okay. So they made this decision to buy CASA 295 aircraft. Now this CASA 295 aircraft is sold by the company called Airbus. Because you know there are two leading producers of aircraft, the Boeing and then the Airbus. So it happened that it is Airbus that can supply. And at the time of this decision, President Mahama's brother called Samuel Mahama or Adam Mahama was already working with Airbus in Uganda, in Kenya, in many other African countries. And so that is why the OSP described it as by a sheer luckless coincidence. Because if not because of the decision of the Ghana Armed Forces Council to buy the CASA 295, they were never going to go to Airbus. If they had gone with their affairs, at the time President Mahama was nowhere. Then President Mahama became vice president. And even that, he did not go poking his nose into the purchase. By reason and operation of law, he became the chairman of the Ghana Armed Forces Council, just like the Ghana Police Council.
As vice president.
As vice president. And so, they proceeded with their purchase. Now, when Airbus even became aware that their agent who was already working in Kenya and Uganda and all the other African countries.
As in 2008.
Yes, by the time they concluded.
Yeah, they concluded a contract.
He was the brother of President Mahama. They terminated the agency agreement. So the OSP said here that by reason of this, Mr. Samuel Foster suffered unduly. Merely because your brother was the vice president, we have terminated the agency agreement. And then they assigned a subsidiary of their company to deal with the Ghana Armed Forces. Now, Airbus was being investigated for some breaches of international law in countries like China, Malaysia, Taiwan, Kenya, Ghana, and other things. Now, what Airbus did was that they didn't want to go through criminal prosecutions. So, en bloc, they just admitted liability, that whatever the UK court says, we want to pay fine, we don't want to go into the matter.
Yeah.
Then there was what we call either the consent judgment or the prosecution deferred agreement, which is when I say PDA, that's what it means. So they agreed that Airbus will pay this. Now, a judgment was delivered on 31st January without even the UK authorities investigating President Mahama, Samuel Foster, or any of those companies in other countries for reasons they best gave. Some people said that in some of the countries, death penalty was the result. I mean, death was a penalty for corruption-related offenses. So they just, admitted liability, and then they gave a consent judgment. Now, notice that the judgment was delivered on 31st of January 2020. And by 2nd February, the president himself as a complainant, had written to the office of the special prosecutor to investigate this. Why? They were under the illusion, imagination, hallucination, whatever nation you will find, put it there, that because there has been government official one mentioned, as a matter of fact or law, somebody may have taken bribe. And so they nicely appointed Martin Amidu, thinking that he had issues with the NDC, and so would just come and lie his way. At a point, Martin Amidu even said the president was putting pressure on him to bring a decision on the Airbus scandal because they wanted only one decision to prosecute President Mahama. And so the letter was sent. The OSP has conducted its investigation, and the results are that President Mahama is squeaky clean. There is no evidence that he either intended or did indeed receive anything to influence the purchase of the Airbus. Now, Ali, having said that, let me say that on this note, I want to applaud President Nana Addo. For the first time, I want to applaud you for the precedent he has set, that the president himself is a complainant, and he has also subjected President Mahama to investigations. And you know what? President Mahama has immunity. He cannot be prosecuted for any crime in Ghana. So he had every right, constitutional or legal, to say that I will not subject myself to investigation because whatever your findings are, you cannot even do anything to me. But the OSP, from paragraph 6.0, copiously mentioned the investigations and the statements of President Mahama and all other things he did. What it means is that presidents, their advice, assigns, privies, howsoever described, would be subjected to a beautiful precedent. We, the lawyers, we love precedent. And you see, when President Mahama was undergoing the investigations at the office of the OSP, he did not organize NDC people to hit the street for political witch hunting or persecution. He knew he was clean. He knew he hadn't taken any bribe, just like he has been investigated. So we will beg our friends in the NPP, when it is their time, they should not organize anybody to hit the street because we have, worked with their precedent. But if you are watching me this morning and you are a young person, the outcome of the OSP investigation should tell you that it matters who you choose as a leader. That today, the reason Ghana cannot benefit from a $5 million facility from the U.S. government is because Peter Amewu said Dr. Bawumia fraudulently presided over a meeting that changed the PDS, requirement from bank guarantee to insurance guarantee and subsequently made it a condition subsequent instead of a condition precedent. And so we have lost that amount of money, which should have helped us in the energy sector. Kufuor started, President Mills continued, President Mahama continued. It is only under this government that we lost that. And so you should know that it matters that you must choose a person who is honest, because you cannot have a leader who lies and says that I will do otherwise. How else are you to take what he says now from what he has said in the past? And so we in the NDC are happy. We in the NDC, this tells you that we are presenting to Ghanaians a candidate who is clean, who the OSP has found no evidence of wrongdoing, and disregard any propaganda of the MPP.
All right.
At least they appointed the OSP themselves.
All right, let me engage Tabitha as well. Tabitha, some members from your party have actually said that they will not accept the reports and still subjecting or wanting to subject it to another form of investigation.
Yes. This morning, Beatrice decided to do what she has been doing all the time, which is to be a lawyer. And when you are a lawyer, you don't, even if someone is guilty, you don't go and tell the court that my client is guilty. And so I didn't expect anything less.
If you're a lawyer, don't go and tell the court.
I'm not the one saying it, the OSP the one saying.
Okay, so I will also say what the OSP said. If you pay attention, I think she gave a little background to the story, but let me also give a little background, just as she rightfully indicated. The president of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, didn't ask for them to investigate Mahama because he doesn't like Mahama, and for that reason, he wants to witch hunt him. No, that's not it. The reason why Akufo-Addo decided that the OSP should investigate Mahama is that at a global front, a court of competent jurisdiction realized that some individuals connived or worked with Airbus to transact some criminal acts or businesses. And of course, when you look at the caliber of people that were involved in this particular scandal, you realize that it will be in their own best interest to not let them investigate it into details. And so if you look at the trial that they did, they decided to assign or refer to individuals or organizations that subjected themselves to this scandal with coded names. For example, when it came to the Chinese, they decided to assign them with Chinese government entity 1, entity 2, entity 3. But when you come to Ghana, they decided to assign our people or those that were involved in the scandal, and they come from Ghana as follows. And this, I'm taking it from the OSP's report. Now, if you look at the OSP's report, point 5, or he wrote numbers to that effect. So there's a place they wrote 5.12. Now, at 5.12, the OSP says that, no, 5.12, sorry, 5.12, that the OSP, 5.12, okay, good, that the OSP confirms the identity of the following individuals. So, per the records of the court proceedings, as I said, they didn't want to use names or individuals or company names because they had settled the thing out of court. So there was no need for them to reveal their identities to the world. But we did our investigation here to establish who these individuals are, and they were accorded these coded names. And per the OSP's own report, he said that government official 1 or individual 1, who is that person? He said the individual described as government official 1 by the UK court, not by any Ghana court, it's a UK court. And individual 1 by the US court. So the UK court accorded him with the coded name, government official 1, and when you come to US, he has a new name, which is individual 1. So John Dramani Mahama is the one these courts are referring to. So when you go to UK today and go through their documents, their court documents, you realize that the name government official 1 is there, and it is there for a reason. The reason is that they were involved in a scandal. Do you understand? When you go, I'm coming, please.
Tabitha, I will appreciate if you don't scream at me when I want to ask a question. Because people are sending messages. Hold on. People are sending messages and obviously are not appreciating even your way of communicating with me. So let's just have a discussion. I want to ask if you appreciate the courts identifying a person's name with a code name like Government Official 1 when there's a legal investigation of this nature. And how do you appreciate if the courts, the US courts and the UK courts, identify someone as Government Official 1? Does that identification necessarily makes the person a criminal? That's for the purpose of the legal investigation.
I said something. Before I made mention of the coded names, I said, and let me say it again, that individuals and institutions were involved in a global scandal. And because the case was settled in such a way that they didn't want it to be in the public domain because of the individuals that were involved, they decided to accord them with these coded names.
Right.
And so as part of the investigation that the OSP is supposed to do, he's supposed to unmask what those coded names stand for.
Yeah.
And so for now, I am telling you that the coded names that are in the court document, they are referring that coded names, which the OSP himself confirmed, that if you hear Government Official 1, it refers to John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
And if you hear Individual 1 at the USA, it refers to John Dramani Mahama. That's the first point. And they went ahead and said that he is a citizen of Ghana. Of course, we all know who John Dramani Mahama is. And he was the vice president of Ghana from 7th January. Let's take note of the dates. 7th January 2029 to 24th July 2012. Now, if only you don't mind, I'll like that we write these numbers down so that we don't have any problems. So from 2029 to 2012 July, okay, John Mahama was a vice president. Around this time. He was the vice president of Ghana from July 2012 to January 2017. So he became a vice president from July 2012 to January 2017. Okay? So these dates are very important.
January 2017.
Yes.
He became vice president.
He became vice president during this time.
January 2017, he was
No, I'm reading from what they said. I'm reading that he was the vice president of Ghana from July. If you have the document,
okay,
you can also read.
I see what
it's
you're
written.
to.
I'm reading from a document.
What is written.
Yes. Okay. To January 2017. His tenure of office as the vice president of Ghana coincided with the time frame of UK and US investigations. Please, you don't tell me to read it well. This is a document I have.
He said he was the president, not the vice president.
This is what I am reading.
No,
okay, fine. So I'm coming. Yes. He was vice president. The first one is saying that
from
he
January.
Was, okay, so in the first one, I'm coming. I have seen where you are talking about, so I'll take it again.
So admit
that
a mistake.
Yes, there's a mistake there. He is a citizen of Ghana. He was the vice president of Ghana from January 2009 to
24th July 2012.
2012. So that's for the first one. Here he was vice, and then the second one he was president. Okay. Now let's keep going. So they said that during this time frame, okay, with the time frame of UK and US investigation of the first Airbus campaign for the sale of 2 C-295 aircraft to Ghana, his term as the president of Ghana occurred during the UK and US investigation time frame of the second Airbus campaign for the sale of one C-95 aircraft to Ghana. So, during his time as president, this happened. There was a sale of an aircraft. Then they went ahead to identify intermediary 5 and consultant 4. Who is intermediary 5 and who is consultant 4? Now, the individual described as intermediary 5 by the UK court and consultant 4 by the US court is known both as Samuel Adam Mahama and Samuel Adam Foster. He is a UK citizen and a citizen of Ghana. He is a younger brother of the full blood of John Dramani Mahama, a former president of Ghana. His birth name is Samuel Adam Mahama. He was adopted from Ghana and taken to the UK in 1972 by a British missionary couple. So he was trained by a missionary couple. And I wonder where that training went when he decided to do these things.
To do what?
I'm coming.
So,
I'll get
Tabitha,
there. No, I'll get there. No, I'll get there. I will get there.
Tabitha, this history, this is, let me say, the premise on the report.
Yes, that's why I said I'll get there.
What has
I said he decided to do
with
I didn't tell you what he did. What did I tell you what he did?
I'm saying that.
I didn't tell you what he did.
I'm saying that. What has it to do with the conclusion of the report?
So I haven't gotten there. That's why I said wait.
We don't have a lot of time.
Okay, we don't have. Because she started her submission around 9:28.
No, it's not true.
No, I wrote it down.
She didn't start around 9:28.
That was when
she
started.
Okay,
you
on
let me go.
Airbus,
It's okay.
It was past 35.
I chose not to.
He was adopted
Yes.
from Ghana, and okay, so they went ahead to say all these things. Now, when you go back to the OSP's report, that has to do with the Airbus SE. They said they made some payments.
Yeah.
Let's go back and read the payments that they made and who received them, because now we know. When I'm reading, we know who intermediary 5 is and who government official 1 is.
Yes.
So when you go back to read 4.34, 4.34, they said, under this scheme, on 20th March 2012,
Who said?
under this scheme, on 20th March 2012, around that time, Mahama was president. Airbus entered into a contract with Organization 1. And we already unmasked Organization 1 to be Adams Mahama.
It's not true.
That is what they
Adam Mahama is called.
That's what
intermediary 5 and consultant 4. That's Adam Mahama. So check your facts right. Look at it.
I'm
said
coming.
You should write it. So we wrote it down. So check your facts right.
To provide business partner services to the C95 Ghana campaign, although the agreement was signed on 20th March 2021, it stated that the effective date for the contract was 1st January 2010. Please, let's pay attention to this place. It stated that the effective date for the contract was 1st January 2010. And when you look at 2010...
Do you know what effective date is?
I'm coming.
And the payment was made to who?
The interjection is coming from both you and her.
The
At times,
payment
you
was
see,
made
because
to
I'm
who?
building, I want to build a case so that I can say what I want to say. When these things are going on, it doesn't help. Please, Beatrice,
allow her.
Beatrice,
Allow
just
her.
keep quiet.
No, I just because
Keep
now I
quiet.
have to
That's
defend.
fine. That's
so if she doesn't know effective date, it tells how I come back to rebut.
So in
What
your
you
rebuttal, you can
explained
say, the agreement was signed by Airbus Defense and the Space Management, and it noted that Organization 1's operational address was in Ghana, despite the fact that the Organization 1 was operating in Spain. Now, there's a background to this. Organization 1, because Adams Mahama decided to go and work with Organization 1. And Organization 1 is found in Spain. But somehow, they decided to find themselves in Ghana and operating. So how can that be possible? So they went ahead and said that, provided that was in Ghana, despite the fact that Organization 1 was operating in Spain, under the agreement, Organization 1 would be provided a success fee for the C-295 aircraft sale. Now, the success fee was calculated to be approximately over 3 million euros, a similar amount to that previously promised to Consultant 4. Now, pursuant to the agreement between March 2012 and February 2014, Airbus paid in excess of 3.5 million euros to Organization 1 in Spain. The payments were authorized by SMO International. Now, they went ahead to say that thereafter, Organization 1 transferred money to the account of the company owned by Consultant 4 and Consultant 5. Organization 1 took a percentage of the money prior to the transfer. In total, the company owned by Consultant 4, and Consultant 5 was paid in excess of 1.8 million euros in May 2012, related to the 2011 sale of 295S aircraft. Consultant 4 later claimed over 71,000 euros was still owed him and related to this sale. In February 2014, Airbus management so they went ahead to talk about the fact that Airbus also accepted that facts were established beyond reasonable doubt and that the facts took place during the relevant time period. Airbus accepted and acknowledged that it was responsible under U.S. law for the acts of its officers, directors, employees, and whatever. They went ahead to talk about a whole lot of things. And they said, in February 2014, Airbus management, SMO International, and the Defense and Space Division sought to extend Airbus's contract with Organization 1, related staff to a subsequent campaign to sell this to Ghana. Airbus compliance staff rejected the extension request and required that a new contract be signed. In March 2015, this is where my interest is, a request was submitted for Organization 1 to be paid over 1.6 million euros for the 2015 sale of one C-295 aircraft to Ghana. Consultant 4 subsequently demanded from both Airbus and Organization 1 payment of this amount.
Okay.
Now, it went on and on to say,
conclude,
that during this time period, monies were paid and the monies found their way into Ghana. Now, you see, during this period, you realize that the only two individuals or one individual that has direct link to the then vice president and the then president is, what do you call him? Yes, Mr. Adams Mahama. So the question is, what was the conclusion of the OSP? He said one thing, and I think we should always say it, and so I will say it. That per the evidence that he has concluded on a limited knowledge of evidence, because he did not get all the evidence that the US court and the UK court compiled to arrive at that. And so he is limited to the knowledge that he has here. And so will exonerate the ex-president.
Okay.
So that is not to say that they were not found in any crime whatsoever. Okay. They were involved in some monies exchanged hands. Some monies found their way into Ghana. And they linked them to Government Official 1 and Intermediary 5.
Who linked the money to Government Official 1? Okay. So
the report that I read, you know that Adams Mahama did not work in isolation.
So he worked with who?
He worked with one organization they call Organization One. It is a Spain organization. Okay. Because he alone couldn't have helped or couldn't have done the whole transaction.
Okay.
He needed somebody or an organization that was stronger enough to be able to help.
Okay.
And this was what happened.
Okay, so this is
now you realize that you spoke about Brian Echampo's case. Now when we go back to Brian Echampo's case, Brian spoke as a politician. If I am going back to bring what their people also said concerning elections, there was a time that they said a whole lot of things. And so if Brian says that we are going to win these elections, and he says that we will do everything within our power to win that election, how wrong is that?
Okay.
He never said we are going to use ammunitions to win the power. He never said we are going to rig to win the power. He said Kwambiaso. And Kwambiaso means what? It means that we, which we have known, we've been known so far, we've won elections in Ghana 4 times. Did we use ammunition? Did we use rigging?
If you ask me that question, do you realize that in 2020 elections, people died? So if you say, 8 people. So
No.
if you say that Kwame Biaso is justifiable, then you want to justify the fact that even if you would take the lives of 8 people,
that's why I
even
said,
if you take the lives of 8
that's
people,
why
you will win the elections.
Said,
is that
even
what
though
it means?
we have won 8 elections in this country, of course, 4. Sorry, it's rather 4 elections.
Okay.
Though we have won 4 elections, but it doesn't. We didn't use those means.
Okay. So good morning, my sister. You're in trouble today. Please tell Tabitha not to call you a liar. Very unfair to you. Having a different opinion doesn't make you a liar. Such language should not be allowed to you as a person, as a hostess of Good Morning Ghana. Mark from USA. Mark, good morning to you, and thank you for watching. Always waking up at dawn to be with us on the platform. Thank you. Guy G, good morning to you. Guy G has sent me posts of Justin Kodia Frimpong. So he says that regional tour update feedback from our tour at the Bono region shows that the same appointee have lost such touch with their base. Don't force me to start mentioning names. Do the needful. Okay, that's what you were mentioning, the Facebook post. And then he also sent me the director of OSP explaining things. Special prosecutor can't be sacked on a whim. And that is the director of OSP talking. And Gaji, thank you for that feedback. Someone is describing my facial look. I don't know how it looks like, but good morning. And kindly tell Beatrice to talk about the International Youth Day and the NDC Youth Manifesto launch. Your Youth Manifesto launch is before the main manifesto.
Yes, today. It's actually happening today at 10 a.m.
Okay.
I'm sure it has already started.
Okay.
The rationale is that normally when we are discussing the manifesto, we talk about economics, agric, and all that. So this time, as a youth-tailored party, we are trying to raise sensitization on the policies we have for the youth, even before the meeting. So 10 a.m. at the UPSA auditorium, every Ghanaian is invited.
Okay. Brian Echampo shouting all over the place that MPP will win election when street lights are not working from Ifanko barrier. Tete Kwashi roundabout from Alhaji Haruna Shaiman. Good morning, Annie. Good morning to you too. Let me capture this. Okay, my son just prompted me to tell the NPP lady we are not in 2029 yet. Annie, this is disrespectful and disheartening to hear someone talk about other people they know nothing about in all of the name communicating for political parties. You talk about upbringing of Adam Mahama as if you know him. How? I believe we can exercise a bit of decorum in discussing issues with our families. So Chris says that, Annie, you have patience for Tabitha. May God bless you, your future husband, really. Well, people have different opinions about me, but please read my message. I've read it, Chris. Thank you for the message. So he actually said that Beatrice has spoken in the minds of millions of Ghanaians suffering the masses this morning. The $1 million cases for her. Please, she's married. Don't. Yes. Beat is very, very conscious about cash, so they bring her cash. Good morning, Annie. Our beloved country, Ghana, grapples with challenges of poverty, inequality, and infrastructure development. Ghana's future depends on John Dramani Mahama leadership. You say the 24-hour economy will fix the broken economy and will create more jobs with a proven track record of driving progress and innovation. Mahama's leadership is poised to unleash a new wave of transformation. This is from Kojo Tredos. Thank you, Tredos. Good morning to you. Evans Dinko says that, good morning, Annie. I agree with Beatrice that the MPP called their communicators and media men to meet to dialogue with JM one-on-one. JM, one of their stations says it is Samuel Mbora who used to do the bidding of the MPP as host of. Okay, these are allegations, please. I can't read that because I cannot really substantiate it. Good morning. Tabitha has told us about their unprecedented school that she attended with only 3 females in her class, but she hasn't told us how many male students were in this class. They actually don't realize the level of anger in the system. Just listen to Tabitha. She couldn't be talking to people in town. Brian has successfully taken the Japadia crime of front page. Well done, Annie. And you have read the Japadia blueprint. It's really bad. I don't know what you're talking about. Mansa Musa says that with Annie, this Brian periodic rant is really much ado about nothing. This is just continuing of no message campaign. It is just a distraction tactic to divert attention and focus on focus on more real issues. This issue, okay, if issues concerning the people are being addressed, a win by all means podium rant should be ignored, you say. Okay, it's a long one, but my time is up. Let me just take a breather. I will be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in.
Red Recito!
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Ama, nansi mi cheno wo bin enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo give us JC mixture and the capsules. Aye numbum and wasam na mo kana. E bua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be bua wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na ni ntisese ni oyi chekwa. DC mixture and a capsule.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and if you do
In today's modern world, Stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Luck it's missing opportunity to be the luckiest. It's time to put some smile on your face. Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial star 712 hash. Now password tickets not as a group, individual and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.